Jam Vishnupat Paramahamsa Parivajakacarya Stotra Shatashi Srimad His Divine Grace Sri Bhakti Vedanta Samshila Prabhupada Ki Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 1, text number 3 and 4. 3 I will chant myself, 4 will chant together. Text number 3. Rajo Vacha Putra Kshatur Bhagavata Maitre Ye Maitreyenasha Sangamaha Kadava Saha Samvada Etad Varnaya Na Prabho. Translation. The king asked Shukadeva Goswami, where and when did the meeting and discussion take place between Saint Vidura and his grace Maitreya Muni? Kindly oblige my lord and describe this to us. Purport. Exactly as Shaunaka Rishi inquired of Suta Goswami, and Suta Goswami replied, so Srila Shukadeva Goswami replied to King Parikshit's inquiries. The king was very anxious to understand the meaningful discussion that took place between the two great souls. Text number 4. Nahi alparthodayastasya nahyalpartado nahyalparthodayastasya vidurasyamalātmaṇah विदुरस्यामलात्मनः तस्मिन् वरीयसी प्रश्नः साधुवादोपबृंहितः साधुवादोपबृंहितः नहि नह्यल्पार्थोदयस्तस्य विदुरस्यामलात्मनः तस्मिन् वरीयसी प्रश्नः साधुवादोपबृंहितः नह्यल्पार्थोदयस्तस्य विदुरस्यामलात्मनः तस्मिन् वरीयसी प्रश्नः साधुवादोपबृंहितः प्रश्नः साधुवादोपबृंहितः Na, never. He, suddenly. Alpa artha, small unimportant purpose. Udayaha, raised. Tasya, his. Vidurasya, of Vidura. Amala Atmanaha, of the saintly man. Tasmin, in that. Variyasi, highly purposeful. Prashnaha, question. Sadhu Vada, things approved by saints and sages. Upabrimhitaha, filled with. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Saint Vidura was a great and pure devotee of the Lord, and therefore his questions to His Grace Rishi Maitreya must have been very purposeful, on the highest level, and approved by learned circles. Kindly repeat. Saint Vidura was a great and pure devotee of the Lord, and therefore his questions to His Grace Rishi Maitreya must have been very purposeful, on the highest level, and approved by learned circles. But questions and answers among different classes of men have different value. Inquiries by mercantile men in a business exchange cannot be expected to be highly purposeful in spiritual values. Questions and answers by different classes of men can be guessed by the caliber of the persons concerned. In Bhagavad Gita, the discussion was between Lord Krishna and Arjuna, the Supreme Person and the Supreme Devotee, respectively. Lord admitted Arjuna to be his devotee and friend, and therefore any sane man can guess what that the discussion was on the topic of the Bhakti Yoga system. Actually, the whole Bhagavad Gita is based on the principle of Bhakti Yoga. There is a difference between karma and karma yoga. Karma is regulated action for the enjoyment of the fruit by the performer. But karma yoga is action performed by the devotee for the satisfaction of the Lord. Karma yoga is based on bhakti or pleasing the Lord, whereas karma is based on pleasing the senses of the performer himself. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, one is advised to approach a bona fide spiritual master when one is actually inclined to question from an elevated level of spiritual understanding. A common man who has no interest in spiritual values has no need to approach a spiritual master just as a matter of following fashion. As a student, Maharaj Parikshit was serious about learning the science of God, and Shukadeva Goswami was a bona fide spiritual master in transcendental science. Both of them knew that the topics discussed by Vidura and Rishi Maitreya were elevated, and thus Maharaj Parikshit was very interested in learning from the bona fide spiritual master. Doesn't the Bhakti Vedanta purport? ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So Vidura and Maitreya conversation their discussion is the topic here. So Shaunaka Rishi has inquired from Suta Goswami about what was the subject of discussion between Vidura and Maitreya. Knowing very well that both of them are transcendentalists, so they will talk about highest transcendental subject. So they wanted to know what was their discussion. Similarly, Maharaj Parikshit also inquired the same question to Shukadeva Goswami. So now Suta Goswami is narrating what was being described by Shukadeva Goswami about the conversation between Vidura and Maitreya. And here the description is given that Maharaj Parikshit himself is describing that Vidura was a pure devotee, Amala Atmanaha, Vidurasya Amala Atmanaha, and Nahi Alpa Arthodayas Tasya. He will not ask any question which is Alpa Artha, which is not having any purpose or having less purpose. Less purpose means discussion about eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Discussion about Gramya Katha, Artha, Alpa Artha. It has no purpose in life. We are discussing about geopolitical situation. We are discussing what is happening in the Parliament of India. We are discussing how dogs in the streets are a menace. These are all Gramya Katha. So they are not inquired how we can solve the dogs menace in the street, how we can solve the geopolitical problem. Because even after, suppose we solve the great geopolitical problem, what are we going to do after that? Eating, sleeping, mating and defending. It is a better environment for all of us, that's all. Not that after they solve the geopolitical problem, they'll all become Krishna conscious. It is not going to happen. That's why when Srila Prabhupada first time we met Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, and Prabhupada told, first let us fight for independence. So Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur told very clear, even if you work for your independence, change the political situation, Krishna consciousness is not going to happen because of that. So Krishna consciousness is independent of any political situation, any revolution. Krishna consciousness itself is a revolution. So Alpa Artha, they are not discussing anything low subject. Then what they are discussing? Tasmin variyasi prashnaha. He is asking very highly purposeful questions he will ask Vidura. Variyasa. The same word is used, variyasi. Another place. Where is that? Yeah. When Shukadeva Goswami hears the inquiry from Maharaj Parikshit, and when he is replying, Variyahan, Variyas, Eshate Prashnaha, Kritam Lokan, Ripaha, O king, you are asked the most glorious question. Atmavit Sammataha. All the great transcendentalists have agreed that this is the most important question. And why it is the most important question? It is not only beneficial for both of us, it is beneficial for the entire creation. Simply asking is beneficial. So, here also, Tasmin Variyasi Prashnaha, the glorious question, the purposeful question here. The translation is Variyasi, highly purposeful. The inquiry is very highly purposeful. Sadhuvado upabrimhitaha. Sadhuvada upabrimhitaha. It is approved by all the great, same context. There also Atmavit Sammataha. Sammata, everyone is agreeing that this is the perfect question. And here also Sadhuvada is the most approved question. Upabrimhitaha, filled with purposes in life. There is no hint of any contamination in this query, in this discussion. So Maharaj Parikshit, because he knows Vidura's background and he knows, oh, what they would have discussed, glorious, I want to know. So Prabhupada, in the beginning, very first line Prabhupada says, questions and answers among different classes of men have different. His discussion will depend on that, what he talks. Two businessmen, they will only talk about business. Two family men, they will only talk about families. Two women, they will only talk what is their natural tendency. Two engineers, they will only talk about their engineering. So similarly, when two great saints have sat together, they are only going to discuss about the Supreme Personality of God. Madgata prana bodayantascha parasparam, Krishna is saying. The quality of my devotees, when they sit amongst themselves, they will ask very purposeful questions and purposeful answer. Perfect question, perfect answer. Variyasan. So, this is the quality of discussion that we can learn and imbibe. Not that when devotees sit together, engrossed in Gramya some entertainment is required, therefore some Gramya that is happening, this happening. No. Our discussion is this standard. What is that? Upabrimhataha, filled with variyasa prashnaha. Glorious, purposeful questions. How I can, like Prabhupada, he inquired from his spiritual master, how can I serve you? This is filled with purpose in life. He has not asked, okay, how will my business will flourish? I am having difficulties in life. My wife has rejected me. My children are not cooperating. No. Neither he is saying I am unable to preach. No. Simply, how can I serve? Upab is filled with purpose. Such questions, such discussions is quality of discussion of a devotee. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. So what devotees will do, they will discuss amongst themselves about Krishna Katha. Beneficial for the entire civilization, for the entire creation. So Vidura, because of his pure heart, Amalatmana, he was able to inquire the highest truth. So that's what is mentioned here. Similar, Prabhupada is giving the example of Krishna, Lord Krishna and Arjuna discussion, Bhagavad Gita. And that discussion was the topic of Bhakti Yoga. Lord is discussing with his devotee. He will discuss only Bhakti Yoga. So, not about karma. They will discuss about Karma Yoga. People are talking outside world. Krishna told, Karmanya vadikaraste, he told, do your karma. No, he is not talking about karma. He is talking about Karma Yoga. The difference, karma is also Vedic only. But that karma is performed for personal gratification. There are certain sets of rules and regulations prescribed in the Vedic literature. If you follow that particular set of rules for your satisfaction, that is within the range of dharma. That's called karma. But karma yoga is transcendental. It is not material karma. It is transcendental. That karma yoga is exclusively for satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. Lokoyam karma bandhanaha. What is that shloka? Yagnartat karmano anyatra. Yagna. It is an offering for the Supreme Lord. It is a sacrifice for the Lord. All others are only meant for sense gratification. That is karma. But that sense gratification also, if you do what is beyond the Vedic literatures, outside, not or prohibited in Vedic literatures, it is vikarma. Akarma is within the Vedic, whatever the Vedic scriptures, the boundaries that is given within that. But that is also not ultimate. What is ultimate? Practice of karma yoga. So Krishna and Arjuna are not discussing about karma. They are discussing about karma yoga or bhakti. So, so that is the highest inquiry. Inquiry are not about karma. Inquiry about karma yoga. How can I please the Lord with my service, with my occupation, with my duty? That is karma yoga. How can I satisfy myself with my work? How can I earn more money? How can I get more profit? How can I satisfy my family? How can I keep my country happy? All this is karma, provided it is done in that within that prohibition of Vedic literature. So, these are the important principles that we are able to learn through Srimad Bhagavatam. So, when devotees they discuss amongst themselves, we should discuss about Lord, glories of the Supreme Lord, and glories of pure devotees, Guru and Krishna. They are more glorious. The moment we start discussing about ordinary human beings, we will only discuss faults. That devotee like this devotee like that, this center like that temple like this, prime minister is like that, chief minister. If I am made prime minister, I will do like this. This is all Gramya Katha. The boat in which you are sailing in Samsara Sagara as a whole, and you are saying, I will rectify the hole in the other's boat. Every boat is having hole, and everyone is sinking. But the one who is sitting in his boat is thinking, I will help that boat. First, we should repair our boat. So, we ourselves are filled with so much contamination, so much of things that we have to work on ourselves. And we are giving suggestions, we are planning suggestions for others and discussing about that. Very Ashan, if I was made Prime Minister of India, I would have done like that. If I am Chief Minister, if I was doing that service, I would have done like that. His service is having a hole and it is drowning. That he is not bothered. Whether Krishna is happy with like this attitude? No, Krishna is not happy. Krishna is happy even if you do your service in fault. Krishna is saying, even if you do it, stick to your service, stick to your dharma, stick to your duty. That will please me. Rather than thinking or trying to do others, giving suggestion, finding fault. So, discussion, bodhayantasya parasparam. When parasparam discussion is happening, Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki. So, Vidura and Maitreya, they are not discussing about ordinary souls. They not even discuss Kauravas are like that. No, they are talking about great personalities, Kapila Muni. They are discussing about Varaha. They are discussing about Chaturkumaras. They are discussing about Kardama Muni. They are discussing about Devahuti. So, when we also sit amongst ourselves, we should also very ashan discussion, very glorious discussion. not alpo artha, low class alpa. So that should be the point of our discussion. Otherwise, it will slide down to Gramya Katha. Any ordinary person you talk about, it will become Gramya Katha. We can, of course, extract Krishna conscious essence out of it. We can extract Krishna conscious essence out of it. But then, that also for a limited period. After some time, because our tendency is like that, you should know mind is our enemy. It will always, like a housefly, it will only look for faults. So, we have to enrich our discussions amongst devotees by talking about glorious subject matter, that is about karma yoga, how I can improve my service, not about our other service. So, yesterday we saw that Vidura, he left his home, which was glorious even for Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna used to frequently visit that house because he had a small altercation with his family members. And Prabhupada mentioned that Vidura was a great devotee. He could never, he is never going to get disturbed by any reversals, any so called disturbance in life. But then he took that opportunity for his advancement in Krishna consciousness. So, it is possible that everyone, that life will take us through a phase that we will also have to see disturbances, reversals, challenges, criticism, all these things we will also see. How we have to face, what we have to do, that we learn from the Vedic literature, from this past times. So, Lord Brahma is mentioning in Bhagavatam how we have to face our reversals. When something is, criticism is going on, everywhere negativity is there. Tatte anukampam susamiksho bunjana evatma kritam upaka. Krishna, Lord Brahma is giving this formula. Anukampam, one has to consider it as the mercy of the Supreme Lord. This is the first. Not that, oh, it is someone is fighting, someone is envious, someone is passing over, someone is. No. It is a compassion of the Supreme Lord. Tatte anukampam. Bunjana evatma kritam vipakam. Actually, lot of more problems should have come to me. That fellow criticized me, he should have criticized more. It will reduced because of Krishna's mercy. In our Bhakta time, when we used to do cutting vegetable, suddenly some cut will come. Then immediately they will say, our authorities used to say, actually your hand should have got cut. This one small finger cut has cut. This is compassion of the Lord. We learn like this. Apply. Not that, oh, I am doing devotion service. Why blood came out of my hand? Krishna should have protected me, no? Krishna's protection. I want protection. Means what? Krishna has to stand as bodyguard or what? No. Krishna's protection comes when you take challenges in Krishna consciousness. When we take challenges in Krishna's preaching, then Krishna's divine power, divine protection will be visible either through his energies, through his devotees, or through any agency Krishna wants, he can provide protection. So, whenever reversals come, devotee takes it as a mercy. Lot of things should have come, Krishna has only given. Actually, it is a fact. Hridvag vapurbhir vidadam namaste. He pays obeisances to the Lord, respects with all his heart, words, and his body. Mind, body, and words. He pays respects to the Lord. Huh? And such a person, jivetayo muktisa padesa bhayava. He becomes qualified. It is becomes his right to go back to Godhead or get liberation. Eh? So, who earnestly waits for you, my dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of his past misdeeds and offering you respectful obeisances. So, all that reversal has come from where? It is from your own account. It is, it is my own karma. And I am thinking he is giving me reversal. This situation is giving me reversal. This service is giving me reversal. Sometimes that also. Like Arjuna is saying, Nimittani cha pashyami viparitani. Krishna, this service, this killing is only headache for me. This service is a burdensome for me. No. That service is a path of liberation. Even if it is burdensome, even if it is troublesome, even if it brings reversals in my life, it is actually path of liberation. So, patiently suffers his own misdeeds, compassionately reduced by the Lord, and offering full respects with his heart, words, and body. Not a tinge of frustration on Lord. What God is doing? I am chanting 16 round from so many years. I am a devotee from so many years, dedicated my life, voluntarily doing service. What is he doing? Cannot he take care of his devotees? No. With heart, words, and body, he faces, patiently he faces that reversal, expecting the mercy of the Lord. He is very confident, Lord will mercifully give. So this is the standard of a devotee, a standard of attitude for a devotee who has to face reversals in life. If we get hurt simply by some small criticism, comments, and decide, make a retaliation on those things, that is not appropriate attitude of it. In the history, we have seen, we can just verify also, no saint in the history has been glorified for his revolt, retaliation. Rather, the saints have been glorified for their tolerance, sahana shakti, for their endurance. No saint has been glorified. Oh, when such thing happened, he revolted, he retaliated, he cursed. Anytime such has happened, they have been punished. We take case of Maharaj Ambarish. Durvasa Muni, he revolted, retaliated. What did Maharaj Ambarish do? He is silent. He is very cool and calm. Whatever reversal come, my Lord, please, I surrender to you. You take care of me also, okay, if you don't take care of me also. But I am your eternal. Prahlad Maharaj, he never retaliated. My father is doing like that, now I will show what I am. I am devotee of Krishna. No, he even never uttered any wrong about his father. In fact, he is glorifying, you are the greatest demon. Glorifying. So, revolting, retaliation, revenge, challenge, jealous, envious, this is not a character of a devotee. The character of a devotee is humbleness, meekness, tolerance. This is what he is cultivating. And this is the opportunity for him to exercise He should think, Arey, now comments are coming, criticism is coming. Okay, now it is opportunity for me to show what my tolerance is. Especially for a devotee, because he is living in a devotees community, the interactions in the devotees communities should not be very, should not be taken very, very emotionally. Ah, that Prabhu told me like that. That devotee has done like that. That authority called me like this. No, it should not be taken very emotionally. If there is something to learn from that aspect, you should learn. And be happy that I am growing in Krishna consciousness because of this learning. Rather than revolting, retaliating, revenging, becoming envious, this is not going to end anywhere. Durvasa Muni, he was very powerful. He wanted to show his power. What happened? Finally, he failed. Like that, there are many in the history. There are many people, many even saintly people. They revolted. The moment they revolted, they were finished. They had to bow down. But whereas the devotees who tolerated, finally they only won. Finally, they only won. So, it should be whenever, suppose in a devotee community, any comments are there, any criticism is there, we should just uh, be very grateful by considering, by being grateful to the devotees. We should just forget it, forget and finish. Not take emotionally whole of our life. 10 years back, 15 years back, he told me like that. 15 years we are putting one toxic idea in our head. It will only increase poison in our head. Past 10 years, 15 years, or 1 year, or one day, we are carrying that. He is like that, he is like that, he is like that. Now, over. That time, moment taken, considered, learned something, thrown out the toxin out. We have to become Amalatmana, not toxic Atmana. So, toxin is filling up. Comment, criticism. So, among devotees, Vaishnavas, it will be there. Finally, they are all common, ordinary souls, Baddha Jivas, trying to become perfect souls. There will be there some interactions. Those interactions we should not take heart to the heart emotionally. To the heart, we are supposed to take Guru's order. Unfortunately, to the heart, we are taking some comments and criticism. Guru's order. Guru has told something, that is our life and soul. But what do? We become very emotional. Heart becomes very heavy. And we start taking revenge, retaliation, or some drastic steps. And thinking that I am perfect. So that is not a right attitude. That is not is what expected of a standard devotee. Achara. Devotee's achara. Devotee's achara is, yes, of course, commenting and criticism also not devotee's achara. That is a Nishiddhachara. But we are in material world. We cannot consider in material world we will sit in a green garden. That garden one day will become dry also. No, it is not an Eden garden. Eden garden only for a few months only. After that again forest fire will start. So what is that? A devotee understands the reality. He accepts the reality. Yes, I am in a material world. I am in a situation, and all of us are contaminated. Some contaminations keep coming out, but I have to endeavor for my own Krishna consciousness, my own selfish growth in Krishna consciousness to grow. Not about I have to think how I should correct him, why he is talking like that, why he cannot correct his talk, no, why we cannot correct our retaliation. That's why Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur says, when others faults are disturbing you, you focus on your own faults. Correct yourself first. Then all the mistakes of others will get automatically get corrected by your perception, our perception. So, uh, interactions amongst Vaishnavas has to be taken like this. We negate those emotional feelings by being grateful to that Vaishnava, especially senior devotees, especially authorities. We should be grateful. We are become Krishna conscious because of them. We are maintaining, balancing our Krishna conscious because of them. So we should be grateful to them. Even if some comment is made, even if some harsh correction is done, we should be very sober, take the essence out of it, and not be emotionally attached to the way it has come. We should be attached to the learning. It will happen. Life will go take us through many situations like this. So, by being grateful, being grateful is a very great attitude. There's one lecture, Prabhupada, only being grateful, that's all. Devotees are always grateful. Even small help, the whole of their life they'll remember, oh, okay, because of this thing, I should be grateful to him. This is a positive attitude, being grateful. Because I am grateful that this Vaishnava has helped me to become Krishna conscious. He is helping me. Therefore, even if little bit here and there, some materially harsh treatment is there, okay. For me, more important is my Krishna conscious. Even when he is correcting, even correction sometimes we take, devotees are correcting, authorities are correcting, we become vengeful against them. This is absolutely wrong concept. We should have the perception, what in the world is making him to correct me? What is the obligation for him to make? Am I paying him any salary? Am I paying him anything? But still, out of his mercy, he is coming and telling, you are doing wrong, please correct yourself. In whatever way he may say. We should be grateful for that. Suppose we do something wrong, any person in the road will come and tell, Swamiji, you are doing wrong construction. Anyone will come and tell. No. Our own person, one who loves me, one who likes me, one who don't want this construction to go wrong, he will come and tell, Prabhu, you are wasting money, Prabhu. Please do correctly. So many people are saying. So we should understand, oh, there is a love behind this correction. There is a love behind this, the way he is saying to me. I have to be grateful for that. I have to perceive that love behind it. It's like in a family, father gives a harsh treatment to the son. The son doesn't take anything emotionally. Our elder brother gives any harsh treatment to the younger brother, even out of enviousness. Suppose even out of toxic mentality, the elder brother is really a psychopath. But the younger brother will never take emotionally and become detached from elder brother. He knows my life is him only. So, with good perception of love behind all of this, no road fellow will come and help us, Krishna, in growth. Even we do materially wrong also, or even we do spiritually wrong also. It is only those who care, those who love, those who like us, and we should be grateful to them that they are doing this. And we should be asking more actually. But rather, we take it as, we take it in a negatively. That is not a devotee's attitude. So, by being grateful, by perceiving the love behind that interaction, and also by wanting to develop a bonding among Vaishnavas, we need to negate those emotionally driven thoughts in our mind. Mind is simply emotion. So you should not be get carried away. Oh, I got hurt, Prabhu, or the way you told. Okay, you got hurt, but whether you learnt also from that hurt, that is also important. Eh? So, uh, even you see Krishna, when Arjuna surrendered to Krishna, Krishna did not pacify him. No, no, Arjuna, you please sit. I will tell you one nice class for half an hour. If all your problem will. No, very first thing. Arey, you are a fool, number one. You are talking as if you know everything. You don't know anything. Suppose like that someone tells us, first thing is we'll not listen to him next time. That is the that is the attitude that we should give that freedom to our authorities. Yes, because I perceive that you love. I perceive that I perceive the gratitude. I want to develop good bonding to all strong Vaishnavas, strong devotees. Huh? So then, uh, our strength to face reversals will grow. Some devotees are commenting and we become hurt. Suppose Durvasa Muni kind of a reversal comes to us, what we will do? It will not come. Time being, it will not come until we reach the position of Maharaj Ambarish. But time being, one small comment, small criticism made, we become so hard. We take revenge like Hiranyakashipu. We become of that level of intensity for a small comment. Where is the question of the treatment that Durvasa Muni gave, the treatment that Hiranyakashipu gave to his son Prahalada? So we are talking of growing to that level of tolerance, not about some cheap alpa artha subject. Uh, we should always, let's say, we should read more and more, read and wanting to apply this in our life. Read in the mood of application. Any questions? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की.